Fourth be with you. I want to start class today seated, nice and tall, with our eyes closed and our hands over, one hand on our heart and one hand on our belly. And just taking a moment to breathe and connect to ourselves. Noticing how we're feeling, noticing our breath, noticing our general energy. Are we feeling like we have a lot? Are we tired? Just being aware of that space and what our body's feeling today. And then taking a big breath in and exhaling, letting go. Letting go of our expectations, letting go of all our competition, letting go of all our judgment, especially when we're practicing yoga at home. We can be really judgmental about ourselves. Oh, yesterday I was able to do this, or gosh, my toes need to be painted, or whatever it might be. Letting go of those things, just being in our body, in our practice today. We're going to start class with a quote from Yoda. Wouldn't be May the 4th without it. So, the force and a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the force around you. So I like this quote because it's all about feeling the good around you and stepping into that rather than the anger that surrounds you. So today we're doing yoga flow, and yes, there will be some warriors, and then we're going to finish class with yoga nidra today. So step back. We've done some breathing. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So finding our hands under our shoulders, excuse me, and our knees under our hips. And then moving through some cow and cat. Inhale as we arch the spine, lifting with the crown of our head, and then exhaling as we tuck the hips and around the back. And as we inhale, thinking I. And as we exhale, thinking M. So we're thinking to ourselves, I am. And maybe we want to put some labels in there, or maybe we just want to be. Maybe we just are today. Taking one or two more breaths here. And then finding a flat back, moving into some spinal balance. Inhaling as we extend our left leg and our right arm. Finding a nice long line. Exhaling as we bring that hand and knee down. And switching sides. And we can always just keep our fingers and toes on the floor if that feels good. If we feel like we want to add that lift, that's always an option. If we want to move a little bit across our body line, back and forth, we can add that in. Finding a way to flow with our breath today. And keeping this long straight line between our thumb and our heel as it comes up. And our back flat. Moving from side to side. And then tucking our toes, pressing our heels into the floor, lifting our hips and finding a down dog, taking a moment to pedal out our feet. Maybe wag our tail a little bit. And then we're going to take a little bit of a flow, inhaling into a plank, exhaling back into down dog. Warming up our abs, our solar plexus. Taking one more flow through plank. And then walking our feet into our hands. Softening our knees. And taking a ragdoll, just letting our arms hang loose. And maybe letting them reach to the floor. And then making a gentle sway. Maybe drawing an infinity sign. Finding some deep breathing. And then softening our knees and just bending and extending the knees while we stay here in a forward fold. Feeling that stretch through the back of our hamstrings, maybe through our calves, maybe through our glutes. And on our next bend, softening our knees, inhaling as we circle sweep our arms, come up into mountain. Exhale, bring our hands to the outside of our hips. Roll our shoulders back a few times. Rolling way back and down. And then in a galaxy far, far away, we're going to open our feet along the long edge of our mat, turn our toes to the corner, reach up, that five-pointed star. Finding that star, and then as we exhale, bending knees over toes, sliding down to moonflowers. And then alternating our hands, reaching up with the right, imagining we're reaching for a star, exhaling as we come back down. Alternating sides. We can either draw our elbows back, or we can let our hands slide up and down our thighs. Finding that lateral flexion through our side body. Taking one more flow on either arm. Returning to our five-pointed star. And then exhaling as we touch our thumbs, hinging at our hips, and then bring our pinkies together, making this nice big circle. Maybe it's a moon of Endor. Or maybe it's just a sunflower. As we flow in through sunflower, Surya Kriya, a sun flow, a sun practice. Finding the place that sunflower feels good. And taking one more flow here. Exhaling as we bring our hands by our hips, walking our feet back into hip distance apart. And taking a flowing chair, inhaling up. Exhaling as we hinge forward, reaching to the far corner, whatever room we're in. And we have lots of arm options. We can flow our arms. We can just keep our hands at our center as we move in and out of chair. We can keep our arms long. We can make circles. We can find any version of chair that feels good. Building some heat. Getting some movement in. And taking one more chair flow. Coming back into mountain. Closing our eyes. Rolling our shoulders back. And then coming into Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath we often call ocean breath or Darth Vader breathing. Of course, we're going to hit that today. So we're imagining as we breathe through our nose that we're breathing in through two straws. So it's a deep breath. And then as we exhale, we pretend there's a mirror right in front of our mouth, and we start with our mouth open, trying to fog up this mirror. And to let the puppy out, keeping that breath, but closing our mouth. So keeping that imaginary breath fogged up, and then keeping the mouth closed, but letting the air roll around the back of the throat. So this breathing is really nice because that air is rolling around the back of the throat, which happens to be the place that our 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, runs through the back of the throat. And this breathing, this Ujjayi breathing, is very calming to the vagus nerve. It calms our parasympathetic nervous system. So if we ever find ourselves in that place where we're feeling anxious or worried or angry, if we take a moment to do some of this Ujjayi breathing, bring down some of this emotion, this energy, this passion that we tend to hold on to. Help bring us back to a stable, rational, calm place. So in our sun salutations today, we can do whatever variation feels good. There are a great many variations of sun salutation. I'm going to do a modified version, but feel free to be standing. We're going to come to the top of our mat, feet hip distance apart, taking a big circle sweep of the arms up, and exhaling as we hinge forward folding. Stepping back with our right foot and planting our knee on the floor, releasing our toe, our hips in between our knees, inhaling as we come up. Exhaling as we reach down, bringing our left foot back and coming into child's pose. Inhaling as we bring our shoulders over hands, belly in tight, hips down low into a kneeling plank or a full plank. Exhaling as we lower down halfway, hovering elbows by our waist, and inhaling as we set the belly down, pressing up into full cobra. Exhaling as we bring our hips back into child's pose. And then bringing our right foot forward, inhaling as we come back into our lunge, reaching up to the sky. Imagining we have our lightsaber overhead. Exhaling as we reach down by our foot, tucking the left foot, stepping in. Hands on our shins, inhaling as we come halfway up. Exhaling down, soften our knees, circle sweep our arms up into mountain. Exhaling into chair. Inhaling back up and exhaling down. This time stepping back with our left foot, planting our knee. Inhaling as we come up into lunge. Exhaling down, bringing our foot back, returning to child's pose or down dog. Breathing in as we come into either kneeling or full plank. Exhaling as we lower down, chaturanga, and inhaling as we press up, either up dog or cobra. Exhaling back to child's pose, bringing our left foot forward. Inhaling as we come up. Exhaling down, tucking the right toe, stepping in with the right foot. Hands on our shins as we come up, halfway, monkey pose, flat back, belly in. Exhale, release, soften our knees, circle sweep our arms as we breathe in and up. Exhale into chair. Inhaling as we come back into mountain. And then place our hands on our heart. Can we connect with our heartbeat? Can we feel our heart dancing in our chest? Taking a breath here and releasing our hands. We're going to open up to the side and then open into chest expansion, opening up our chest, lifting our chin, and then exhaling as we soften our knees and round forward. So almost a cow-cat spine, but focusing on that chest expansion piece. So opening up our heart. Deep Ujjayi breathing. And the next time our arms are back, we're going to keep them back here, either keeping thumbs up or interlacing our fingers, opening up, pressing down with the knuckles towards the floor, pulling in with our belly and opening up our hearts. Releasing our hands, stepping back with our right foot. Setting up for warrior one, so opening up the toe to somewhere comfortable, And then inhaling as we sweep our hands overhead, we're going to interlock our fingers, except for our index fingers. We're going to point them up. We've all seen the old original Star Wars poster where Princess Leia has a lightsaber overhead. So we're going to bring our lightsabers overhead, breathing in, exhaling as we sink the left knee right over the foot. And we're going to flow this. Inhaling as we bring our hands to heart center, extend the knee straight. Exhaling as we flow down into Warrior One. Flowing. Feeling that force, that luminous light around us. And the next time our knee is over our foot, holding that position there. Finding some power in our Warrior One. Releasing our fingertips as we inhale, fanning out the arms, turning our right foot back, and then finding our Warrior Two, relaxing the shoulders back and down. Feeling that pull between our fingertips. And today, flowing between side angle and reverse warrior. Inhaling as we hinge toward our left knee, bringing our right hand overhead. And exhaling as we hinge back. Flowing back and forth. Our legs staying the same. That flow just happening from the waist up. Being in the present moment, noticing where this feels good, and then holding our side angle, and then extending our left leg long, hinging forward a little bit more, coming into triangle. Feeling that stack, that reach, fingertip to fingertip, maybe using the back of a hand against our thigh, our ankle, or all the way to the floor, opening up our heart. Taking this right hand down. As we exhale, bringing our hands together, and then inhale, opening it back up. Taking one more flow up and down. And then holding our triangle, softening our left knee, inhaling as we come back to Warrior Two. Turning our hands up to the sky, turning our feet to the corners of the mat. Woo. Inhale up, five-pointed star. And exhale down, either moonflowers or sunflowers, whichever one's feeling better in our body today. And then bringing our hands back to our hips, we're going to step in with the left foot and turn the right foot perpendicular, setting up for our Warrior One on the other leg. So turning our hips toward the corner and our shoulders straight, bringing our hands to heart center, interlacing our fingers with our index fingers pointed up. Inhaling as we reach up and bend our right knee over foot. Exhaling as we flow back to heart center, straightening the knee. So finding that sink, maybe we want to drop the heel back a little bit further. Feeling that flow. And the next time we're up with our hands, keeping our knee over our foot, feet down, we can see our big toe, but not the others. And then exhale, opening up the arms, turning the left foot, finding our Warrior Two. Gazing over our right arm. Feeling the expanse. Imagine our body is the universe, and we're growing on all sides. Our fingers are growing away from us, our toes are growing away from us, our head is growing up. We're being pulled down into the floor, expanding on all fronts. And then let's begin our flow, moving into side angle, inhaling as we hinge at the hips, reaching left hand overhead, and exhaling as we float back, coming to reverse warrior. Returning to our Ujjayi breath whenever we think of it. And the next time we're in side angle, staying there. And then straightening out that right knee, hinging forward, finding triangle. Find that opening between our fingertips, that nice long straight line. And then when we're ready, adding that flow. Taking an inhale as we open our chest, and then exhale as we bring our hands back together. Inhale, opening up the thoracic cavity, opening up our lungs, our heart. Creating space in our hearts. Imagine we're pumping our lungs full of air so that they have full expression. Taking one more breath here. Leaving our hand up and then bending our right knee, inhaling, rolling back into warrior two. Turning our palms up and returning our heels toward one another, inhaling up. Exhaling down, taking a moonflower or a sunflower. Any variation that feels good. Coming back with our hands down, we're going to bring our hands to our hips and then turn both our feet stepping towards the left side of the mat. So toes and knees both turn to the left, finding our hips square center. Drawing in with our belly button. We want to hold tight here, inhaling out. Turn our thumbs down and interlace our fingers or grab our elbows behind us, pulling our belly button in. And then on our next inhale, arching the back, looking up, lifting from the chin and the crown of the head, and then exhaling as we hinge at the hips. Slowly. Taking another breath here, and then exhaling as we hinge. A little bit further with each exhale. And maybe adjusting our stance if we need to. And when we can hinge no more, releasing the head and the neck. So we're moving toward our left knee. Finding pyramid pose. Maybe closing our eyes in pyramid. Pulling in with our belly button, inhaling as we begin to unwind, lifting the crown of our head forward and away. Unhinging back to upright. Releasing our arms, and then stepping our feet back into mountain, closing our eyes, and just observing any sensations in our body. What forces do we feel? And then stepping back with our opposite foot. Toes and knees pointing forward, preparing for pyramid on the other leg. Inhaling as we bring our hands up, turn the thumbs down, and exhaling as we either interlace the fingers or grab our elbows. Pulling in with our belly button, arching up as we breathe in. Tight through the stomach. Exhaling as we hinge forward. This motion beginning in the back of our glutes. And using our exhale to propel us forward and down. Finding the place where we can hinge no more, and then releasing the neck and the head. closing our eyes, finding our space that is our Ujjayi breath. And when we're ready, pulling in through the belly button, out through the crown of the head. Inhaling as we unhinge. Coming back to upright. Releasing our arms and stepping back in, feet hip distance apart. Closing our eyes. Tadasana, mountain pose. And while we're here, shifting our weight right to left, feeling that rock side to side. Keeping our eyes closed, noticing where our balance kicks in. We're engaging our vestibular and our proprioception senses. Our balance. Coming back to centering, the same thing going front to back. And then making small circles with our hips or our whole body. Seeing if we can do this from the ankle up. Can the whole body be a part of that circle? What muscles have to work to make that happen? And then switching our direction, circling in the opposite way. Turning towards our long edge of our mat. So we're going to open our toes nice and wide. So turn down to the corner like we're setting up for moon flower, taking a big breath in. And as we exhale, hinging forward, finding a flat back, coming into airplane. With our belly in tight. So from the side, our back is flat. Our hands are either out, or we can bring them behind us. Turn our palms up and imagine we're pressing something against the spine. Pulling in with our belly button and shifting our weight into the front of our foot. And just kind of feeling that rock front and back as we're in airplane. And then gently exhaling, hinging forward, releasing our arms to the floor. We're going to make our way into a full standing straddle. So maybe walking our feet out a little bit wider. Dropping our elbows to the floor, or even the top of our head. Wherever we can go. My buns are in the way, my hair buns. Finding our standing straddle. If it feels good, grabbing our ankles, but only if that pressure feels okay on our head. Otherwise, just feeling that stretch. Where do we feel it? In our inner thighs, in our hips. Taking a breath here and then turning our toes forward, walking our heels, toes in a few more times, wider than our hips, but not all the way hip distance apart. And then drawing in with our belly, hooking 2 fingers around our big toe and inhaling as we bring our head forward. So our belly's in tight, reaching forward, gorilla pose. Lengthening through the spine. And if we like, we could even step on our hands. Feeling that if we need to soften at the knees, then maybe releasing that a little bit. We want to find some length through the back of the hamstrings. And we're going to turn our toes out to the corners of the mat, bring our heels together, and slowly lower down into a squat. Bringing our palms together, inhaling, we're going to stand all the way up, pushing up. And then open up our feet a little bit. We're exhaling right back down into our squat. Feeling that heat. And we can either keep our hands here, or we can open up. Heels stay down on the floor. So finding that space where as we squat, we can keep our heels connected. We're going to hold down here, use the backs of the elbows to open up the heart. Finding a full Malasana, garland pose. And gently releasing our hands to the floor. One in front of us, one behind us, bringing our feet sole to sole. Finding our triangle and breathing in with our spine. Exhaling as we hinge forward, bringing our nose toward our feet. And if we're feeling warm, exhaling through the mouth, letting go of a little bit of that heat. If we're cold, keep that heat in, keep the mouth closed. Inhaling as we come back up. Extending our right foot and bringing our left foot in by that inner thigh. Turning our shoulders straight forward. Inhaling as we reach up. And then exhaling as we hinge forward toward our flexed right foot. Releasing our toe, inhaling as we walk ourselves back to upright. And we have some options for twists today. We can either leave our foot flat on the floor, or we can bring it across the thigh. Wherever we feel, if this is too intense, we can always go back to it hip distance apart. Reaching our opposite arm, our right arm over our left knee, and then as we inhale, opening through our chest, finding that expansion, and just following our fingertips with our eyes, finding the place we can go without pushing on the floor. So where can our spine open to on its own? And then flexing through our right foot. Imagining we're pushing it up against a wall. Inhaling as we rotate back to center. Release that leg. Flexing both feet, finding staff pose, Dandasana, inhaling up. Exhaling as we hinge forward, finding the place that we can fold to wherever that is today, wherever we feel the stretch in the backs of our thighs. Inhaling as we come back up, bringing our right knee out and our right foot in, sitting tall. Inhaling up, exhaling as we hinge toward the left foot. Taking one more breath here, in and out. Did you see how graceful my kitty is? Bringing the right knee up and either taking our twist here or bringing it across the left foot. We want to make sure the foot's flat on the floor. Our left foot is flexed, reaching around with our left arm. And then inhaling, opening through the right, looking back over the right shoulder. Finding that twist. Taking one more breath here and then returning to center. We're going to make our way onto our knees. And with our knees and feet hip distance apart, walk ourselves all the way up onto our knees. If this doesn't feel good, adding a little extra cushion beneath the knees if we want to. I'm triple folding my mat in the middle. Maintaining that hip distance and taking fists with our hands. Inhaling as we open up and bring those fists to the back of our hips, so right above our hip bones. And then taking a moment to just open the chest, inhaling and expand. And then exhale and release. Feeling that expansion, each time a little bit further, adding some arch. And then the next time we expand, coming into a modified camel, lifting our chin, opening our heart. We should still be able to talk. We feel like so much pressure in the chin, lowering the chin back down. Finding that arch. We could also go into full camel if that feels good. Opening through the heart and the chest. Pressing our lungs up toward the sky. Gently inhaling and coming back to upright. And then making our way onto our hands and knees. If there's a fold in our mat, maybe sliding that out. And then opening knees wide, toes together, pressing back into child's pose. And either keeping our arms long or by our feet and gently connecting our forehead to the ground and then just rotating the neck so that we roll our mat across the top of our temple. Coming back with our hands under our shoulders, walking our arms back out. Inhaling as we come back into flat back and taking a few cow and cat breaths if that feels good. Or maybe swaying our hips side to side, relieving any tension that's in our spine. Making our way onto a seated position, and then we're going to walk ourselves all the way down onto our back. Finishing with bridge or any other inversion, maybe legs up the wall or plow or shoulder stand. If those things are in our normal practice, feeling free to go there. I'm just going to go to a gentle bridge, inhaling as I tuck my hips and roll up, holding bridge. Feeling some heat in my legs, glutes, abs. Taking one more breath here when we're ready. Exhaling, coming back to earth, one vertebrae at a time. Drawing our knees into our chest and giving ourselves a big hug, making any movement, rocking side to side if that feels good. Front to back. Setting up for our Yoga Nidra today. So if we are playing a playlist, maybe turning that off. If we need pillows or blankets, going there as well. I'm going to give us going to change a few settings and share some different things. So finding a comfortable position. So Yoga Nidra is yogic sleep. And in yogic sleep, we are really allowing ourselves to rest. So not actually falling asleep, but just letting our body truly, truly rest. So focusing in on that rest. And then I'm going to play a recording for this today. We should be seated tall, looking back in inside our hearts, taking a big breath in, reaching tall, and bringing our hands to heart center. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.